All right, I'm at my desktop here, so I've got pin chess to play. So I'm going to play my pin chest out. I'm going to play in Tour 6 because all week long we've got the holes coming up for the Southern Pine. It's the Easter 9-hole cup. So you can go to Golf Clash Notebook and you can pull up the Southern Pines 9-hole cup. I was looking at the East Coast tournament. The East Coast, some of these holes have been in several tournaments. And so there's a couple of them that I played when they came out in the Southern Pines 9-hole cup. This is what's disappointing about the whole deal is that there are several of the holes. One of the holes in particular, I think hole number 5, hole number 6, was completely redesigned. So like we landed on the Southern Pines 9-hole cup and thought that this was the hole was the old configuration, and they completely redesigned this hole, and it plays totally different. It's a totally different hole. I wish they would have left it like it was. It was a great hole like it was. It's a great hole now, but they could have put this hole in a different turn, in a different tour or some other thing. But this 9-hole cup that was here, I set up a playlist with these holes just straight through the weekend round. So it's a pretty good demo of all of the holes, and set up a playlist and a walkthrough just for the new tournament that's coming up. Kings of Golf, as far as clan wise goes, we like rocked it out. We had 120 people in all 3 of our clans combined, and out of 120 people, 76 made the weekend round. That's a 63% of the clan made a weekend round. And our average clan, all 3 clans combined, our average was 24.66. So like a 25th place was the average within the clan. So that's pretty awesome, trying to work ourselves down into where the entire clan is a top 20, top 10. If you're in the top 15, usually you're within a couple shots. You're within a couple shots of a banner. And so like trying to be in that top 15 so that if you're on one of those weeks where you like everything falls for you, then you're in banner shot. So we're right on the cusp of getting into that. A lot of people won first time banner winners and a lot of first time winners in the clan this last tournament. So that was awesome. Anything else I need to talk about? I'm going to turn on my material queue. I did put on my YouTube channel. There is a you can go to the AAA strategies and guides, and I think at the very bottom, I put in a note here on. I put in a video that I did earlier on in the week for material queue, and so it's in that AAA strategy guide. It's material queue custom ticks. That was how to add on custom ticks at the bottom of it. And then there was also one on just material queue code. And then in that comment section, I put in the code for it. So any of you that are wanting to use material queue. All right. Here we go. Let's go play some Tour 6. Let's see if we can get some of the Southern Pines holes. We're just gonna play. I'm just gonna play with what I have. I'm not sure where my bags are set up right now. But we'll just go in and play some of the holes that are in here. See what we can get. See if we can get any Southern Pine holes that we get. I'll bring out the right stuff, and any of the other holes that we get, I'll just bring out Marlins, and we'll just play for minimum score. But we'll actually try and play more serious on the Southern Pine holes. No sense wasting good balls on holes that we're not playing. This hole right here, if you've got with this wind right here, it would be helpful if you have a bigger ball. But my opponent brought out a white ball. I'll bring out a Marlin. Opponent's nicely done. Nicely done. Shot. Nice shot. Nice shot, man. I'm doing in this area here because of the way that the wind's blowing. Get out into that area where it's a little bit flatter. Down in that trough. That's 4. About 4.9. And then just lean just a little bit to the left. Hit it one ring great to the right. That'll put me a little bit more on that hill, so it'll take a big jump to the right. And that'll put me towards the tree. That's the thing, is if you're in that bowl down there on the bottom, if you hit it great to the left or the right, if you hit it great to the left, you're on the uphill side, you're on that, and it'll take a big jump to the right. If you hit on the right, it'll take a big jump to the left. And so if you hit too far great to the left, it'll actually throw you into the rough on the right-hand side on the other side. If you hit it too far great to the right, you'll end up clipping that tree. But it's hard to get up there if you hit in the pocket where we normally hit in tournament play with a 6-6 headwind. You're going to have to do overpower, and you take a big risk down there that you'll end up epic failing. So just trying to pull back and put myself anywhere you're out on that fairway out there. You got a shot going into the cup. It's all about club. Let's see where I'm at. Which club am I in? I'm in my Hornet. Excellent. I am right at max Hornet. And it's a 100% accurate club. I'm going to do a 10% pull, so that's going to be 11-2. That's 5. That's 11-2. Oh, and I hit it great to the left. Arrgh! That was right on track. Right on track. Whole goal on this hole is to get a birdie. Give yourself an eagle shot. I gave myself a eagle shot with a Marlin. Can't ask for more than that. In tournament play, though, we would want to bring out a big ball so that we would be deep into our short iron. Like instead of being at max short iron right there, if I would have had a 3-power ball, I would have been like mid short iron. Getting the birdie. Go to shootout. I don't even remember the Tour 6 shootouts. If we get that one hole, the one Southern Pines hole with the island, though, I'm going to shoot off the island if the wind is low enough. I'm going to try and shoot as much as I can with my accurate bag, with my accurate driver. Because if we get on that particular par 3, I want to if the wind is blowing in the tournament less than 2 miles per hour, if I can use a low enough wind ball out there, and I think a turkey ball will work really good on that hole, and a rock, and I'm going to do the island shot on that par 3 because that's the one way to get a hole-in-one. It's almost impossible the other way to get a hole-in-one. I mean, it's possible, but it's very, very, very low percentage. So what my opponent did here, on the fringe, 4-2. There's a bunch of different ways we can play this hole depending on what club we have. I don't know if I have enough backspin here. Get me up there, I don't, so I'll have to play from the bottom coming up. One, 3, it's a 100% accurate club. We're probably not in max distance, but I'm going to hit 1, 3. Hitting it perfect. See how close we can get to the cup. Close. Making it work with the Grizzly. With a Saturn, you can get way up on it. You can backspin it right to the cup. You can start right behind it and pull it back down to the cup. See if they'll rematch. Come on, dude. Come on, Veggie. Make me go back all the way back to the desktop. All right. Kicked me out of the game. I got you. See if we can get a Southern Pines. We're looking for any Southern Pines hole right here, right now. Right now. I think there's 3 tours in the tour 6, so we're 1 out of 3. All right, Southern Pines, hole 9, par 5. This is the hole right here. This is not the best wind. We're getting a little teeny bit of headwind here. I'm going to shoot this with a Titan, and I'll show you what it looks like with a Titan. I think I'll have to see what bags I have. Really hate to waste a Power 5 ball on it, because the deal is with the Power 5 ball, you do the same thing, but it's a whole lot easier because you don't have to do any overpower. You can just do the shot straight up. And so it's a lot more consistent. You end up with the same results over and over. And my opponent is screwed. Yeah, that's bad, dude. Yeah, whatever bag has a big dog in it. I think that's just I may not have any bags with a big dog. Big dog, big topper. Hey, oh, it's not letting me switch balls. Wow, it's not letting me switch balls. So I'm going to have to use my number 1 bag. I tried to switch to a Titan, but it wouldn't let me do it. It's not letting me switch balls. That's a weird little glitch. So I'm trying to catch it at the narrowest part so I can get as much roll out as I can. That'll probably put me not too far away from 400. That's the deal. It's not too far away. So the deal is that with a Marlin ball, it's not about the first shot. The second shot, you have to be able to engage this fairway. And from where I'm at, I won't be able to engage that fairway even with a big dog. So I'll have to bounce over from this fairway to that fairway and then give myself a pitch up shot. And so the deal is that you're like playing to where you're at, not trying to get. That's the deal with playing with a Marlin. With a Titan, I could get over to that other fairway right now. I'd have to use max overpower to do it, but I could get over to that other fairway. My opponent is gone from the shit to the shit, from the brown stuff to the brown stuff. So the goal here is to get that second bounce so it's off the cup. I'm going to put curl, so I'm going to try and end up out here in front. The wind's blowing me forward, so I'm going to take the wind out. 3-2. Because I don't want to clip that rough, and I'm not worried about that ball guide at all because I'm putting curl on it to try and bring it over to the spot. I'm just trying to bounce it up there and get as close as I can and as far out. See how by putting that curl on there, I've moved myself out to the right, so I have a straight in shot now. I can work it however I want. I don't have anything impeding me to the cup. That's why I wasn't worried about the ball guide, because I know I'm going to put curl on that shot, and curl's not represented in the ball guide. So the ball guide's not going to be where it's telling me it's not going to be. I know it's not going to be there. I know if I was in that spot, I'd be clipping the trees, but I'm not going to be in that spot. All right, I have a shot of making this. I put myself in the best shot I could with a Marlin. So let's see where we're at in club. We should be in max club. That's 1.3 per ring. So I'm in max club. I'm just going to dial it up to the cup. It's 1.3, so there's 5, 6, 5, or 7, 5, or 7, 5, or 6, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5. It's about 8, 6. Getting it perfect. See if I can get it in the cup. See if it's got enough roll. Woo! That's what I'm talking about right there. So you can get an eagle with a marlin. That's not the way that you want to go at it. You want to be closer, taking a putter, a very short chip, but you can get an eagle with a marlin. But you got to be cognizant of where your stuff is. You want to be in the right spot. All right, getting it done on one of the Southern Pines holes. There we go. And you got to see an eagle on it nonetheless. Hopefully they'll have the other par 5 in here, because if we can have the other par 5 and I can actually switch freaking balls, I will show you guys the max overpower hook shot. And that hole is a hole that the mass majority of the bracket, and I'm talking a huge number, probably over 70%, will not get an eagle on that hole. And I have a surefire way to get an eagle on that hole. Okay, this hole right here, let's see if it'll let me switch balls. Why am I not able to switch balls? Okay, and I'm going to use that wind to my advantage. So I'm going to pull out 7-3, just about that much, and then I'm going to put all that power back in it. And I hit it like one ring good to the right. The risk here is that around this corner right here, it'll clip that rough. It's too much curl. The deal is I'm used to coming to that hole with a rock. And with a rock, I do a max curl shot, and I go all the way over to the right. And I just do max curl, and it throws it up there so that it's giving me the max tip curl around the end, trying to get past that shadow all the way up to the end. And I changed it out because there was hole number 9 in the last tournament. I was playing with a QB instead of my rock. I need to change that back up. I need to fix my bag after this hole. That screwed me up. That screwed me up twice now. Still in a good spot. With my Nirvana, I am not in a spot where the problem here is this rough. You do not want to flirt with that rough. So like right now, I'm just like playing one-on-one mode. The whole goal is just to get just to limp onto the green. So I'm going to come back just a little. Okay, 5-1. It's 2 per ring at max. So there's 2, 4, 5. I'm going to put max curl on it. And just lay it up at the cup. And just lay it up there. I just want to get up there so that I can make my little pitch and get the hell away from this hole. If you mess up the drive on this shot and you're down there, you can get up there. The whole deal is don't get greedy with it. Don't this is how I play. If I'm taking a shot off the tee and I don't end up in the area that I brought a lot of times when you guys see me pick clubs, I pick I say the only thing I need on this is an extra mile and a guardian. I didn't even look at the rest of the clubs. I'm going to end up, if I have to use the rest of the clubs, I'm going to just have to make do with what I got. And so like whatever I brought there. So that's why those usual suspects, they don't leave. I know I have a Nirvana and I know I have a Spitfire because I never changed those clubs. So I know like what the stuff is to get out of the trouble. Just go up there and get back on track. Don't put yourself at risk by trying to get greedy. Sometimes you still have just as good a shot at it from the rough. And sometimes you just need to limp up on the green and get your eagle or your birdie and go home. Hitting it perfect. Get my birdie, go to a shootout, and go on down the road. See if we can win 6 out of 8. That's the whole goal on the shootout. On the pin chest, I never keep track, so I'm just trying to cycle as many chests as I can. I was talking to one of my teammates today. I called up. We had a bunch of teammates that won gold for the very first time, and a bunch of teammates that won banners for the very first time. And I talked about everybody in the. I shot a video for the clan afterwards, but I called one of our teammates, Scott. Cheap got his first win. Called him up and talked to him about it. Congratulated him. The whole deal is that, you know, we're like, unless you're in a household where you have a bunch of people that play, which is not the norm. Normally the deal is that like nobody else gets it. And so, you know, having somebody to talk to that actually gets the whole deal. That's one of the things is like when I played the first, I called my buddy Scooby. I won the very first tournament I ever won was the 2017 Thanksgiving tournament, the turkey tournament. And I had no other friends that played the game. And I called my buddy Scooby, and I'd been trying to talk him into playing. I'd set him up an account already. I'd set him up 2 accounts and I already started playing him so that he could be set up. Oh my gosh, I got to play this hole. I don't care. I don't care how cheesy. Why? I'm going to have to get out of the game because it's not letting me change clubs. It's 3-4. I called my buddy Scooby and was like, dude, I just won this tournament. And I really had nobody to celebrate with. Hitting it perfect. Try and do a second bounce rough bump onto that pad. See if I over clipped it. See if it sticks. It won't stick. If you hit it, in order to have enough topspin to get over there, if you hit it, you'll roll off the front. But what the goal was there was to try and do a second bounce rough bump and just bleed onto that pad. And if you get onto that pad and your opponent doesn't, you just beat them. Because 99% of the people that come to this hole are going to shoot out to this area right here, and it takes 3 shots to get on the green. And if you can get on this one, it takes 2 shots, and you just beat them. Even from where I'm at, I still have a pretty decent shot of getting on it too, and just outright beating them if I can get my Nirvana over to the fairway on one of those islands. But from this spot, the best that my opponent can do is hit out to the tip out here and then try and do a rough bump coming in, and it's on in 3. All right. Okay, and see where that. I'm going to try and do a rough. I'm going to see if I can get it far enough over there. It's 2 per ring. There's, hey, I'm not grabbing all of the rings here. There's 4. Hit it. 2 rings great on the inside. Not quite enough to get over. Not quite enough to get over against that headwind. Now this next shot boils down to perfect. If I hit it perfect, it's in the hole. But my opponent is guaranteed to have, it's going to take them 3 shots to get on. So most people on this hole hit out to that, and I do not know who they learned that from, but whoever they learned that from, I couldn't be happier that everybody wanted to do it that way. Because the whole deal is if you have an extra mile and you can get out to that island with an extra mile, I've done it with my extra mile 6. And you can get out to that island out there. It's harder with the extra mile 6 because you don't have as much curl. So an extra mile 7 works better. You can get out to that island. Let's get as close as I can. And the wind's going to push it off this. It's going to push this way, 7. Hitting it perfect. See if I got my wind adjustment right. And then the wind did not play a factor. Wind did not play a factor. Right off the edge of the cup. Arrgh. it was right there at the point where it was like, is wind a factor or wind isn't a factor? I was hoping that it was going to be like half as much as I thought it was. And then it would just push me back to the flagpole, because if wind would have been a factor, I was like right on the edge where it would have pushed it all the way over to the other side of the cup, and it would have been really close whether or not perfect would have went in. So I was like right there at the deal. Arr! Where's the arr emoji? A little pirate. Yep, my opponent opened the door by going over to that side. It's disappointing. That's disappointing, because I love that hole, because most people play that hole, they play themselves to birdie. And the deal is that every par 5 in this game, you have to figure out how to play it to eagle. There's a few holes in Golf Clash that are par 5s that are birdie holes with an eagle shot, because there really is no Albie shot. And those holes that are out there, if you can figure out a way to play them to eagle, where you have a fairly straightforward shot at eagle, you can mop people up. And that is definitely one of those holes. There's 2 of the Southern Pines holes that are the same way. Most people look at them as not being big, high percentage holes. All right, playing the, what's the Oasis in this? I must have accidentally played Tour 7. Well, that's a disappointing deal. I was hoping not to have to see this hole again for a long time. My opponent flubbed up, so they will more than likely forfeit before I get done with my shot, which is usually the case. Extra mile. It's 3.7, 20%. It's 6. It's 4 something. I'm just going to pull it back to the red line a little bit more, and I'll short shoot it. See if we can just get up there. I should have just shot it 5 feet in front of me, since he was in the water. I gave him a shot. We must be in T7. I must have accidentally played T7. Let's see. Yep, I did. I accidentally played T7. Sorry about that, folks. I meant to play T6. I did play T7. Here, let's go in and open up one of those. Let's open those chests up, so we got some slots. Cycling through them. I was talking to Scott today. Chip. One of the things we talked about was like using gems to speed up chess. I cycle through chess. I don't mess around with chess. Like if I'm playing, whenever I'm playing to win. I don't care about coins. You will win. You shouldn't care about coins. Coins will come if you win. What do you get when you win? You win coins and you win chess. Which is more important, chess or coins? Chests, because chess are your clubs. So every single time you win, you want to be opening up a chest. This freaking wind is killing me. It's still not letting me switch balls. Seven, 8. There's 5, 6, 7, 8. That puts me about 2 rings into power. Do a little bit of curl and just a little bit of overpower for the win. Hitting it perfect. Let's see if we can do the little bounce over, this time using a quarterback. Last time I used the extra mile. See if we can get out in the same area. Any area out here, I'll put you in your short iron range. I was talking back on. I was talking to Chip about opening up chests. You have to open up chests. Go on Google. I've mentioned this thing before, but you can go on Google and type in the monetization of Golf Clash. And that is an article that came out by a gaming magazine and a gaming company that's like an investor. I don't know. It's something on that side so people that are in the gaming industry can understand what's going on. And it's a short paper on Golf Clash and like how the monetary thing works. Like gems are the hard currency. So like gems are the currency. Anytime you can get gems at a cheaper price, that's a big deal. That's why that $1.99 pack for 500 is like a big deal. And they throw in 25 katanas. I mean, heck, can't beat that with a stick. What's up, baby? Are you all done? You want to go cut ivy? Get some fresh air? 2.4. Where am I at in my Hornet? I'm right at max. It's 1.0 per ring, so it's 2.4 rings. I'm going to do 2.5. Not so much.
I do, but I don't want to overdo it.
Okay. No, I'll go. We can go out there and do it.
Well, we could have an ivy cutting date tomorrow after work.
I can go out there, take the yard we can out there and knock that out because there was a couple of things that were on the list that were outside.
Just wait and do them tomorrow.
Mow the yard. No, it's still nice outside.
Yeah, but the evenings is supposed to be yard time. The daytime is when we're supposed to do
I got you.
whole family.
I got you.
We're not used to it because we're not used to being together this much. We have our new family unit with your new career.
I got you. You're right.
So why don't you keep playing and goofing off, and then we'll have dinner tonight. And I'll work tomorrow, and then.
And we have chicken still.
Yeah.
We do. We do. My opponent was very nicely up there. Let's see where I end up. My dog Buster here is giving my wife kisses. Just off the cup. Birdie. Minimum score. One-on-one is where you practice minimum score. You just want to every hole in one-on-one play should be like you look at that hole and you go like we're trying to get an eagle, so the minimum score is a birdie. And so the minimum score on every hole. You'll lose very few out on the field. I mean, you'll lose some occasionally. Your opponent will sink that eagle or sink that albatross, but you'll win more often than not.
You're sucking on my ear.
Are you getting your mama's ear? It's a shootout. I think I brought that freaking grizzly again. I brought a grizzly to a Saturn fight. Let's see what I'm letting to do this max backspin. Be right above the cup. So I got one cut over with my second bounce. 6.5. It's one per ring, and we got to be way downhill. So I'm going to add on at least 10%. So there's 7. I'm going to go 7.5. There's 5, 6, 7.5. It just feels right. Hitting it perfect. We'll see if that was right. We'll see if that was close. Ooh, I'm on that hillside. That's bad. Once you get on that hillside, it rolls down. You got to see the plateaus here. You want to be on that upper plateau. If you bring a Saturn, you come up, you get behind the cup and you try and backspin it. You almost use that backward to try and bring it down there so that it terminates right at the cup. You don't want to involve that hill. See how it's tiered? You don't want to be down on this lower tier. It's a suck putt. But that's definitely not a good shot for one-on-one. I was getting way too open the door. I need to switch out some of my bags for playing Tour 6. I don't even know if we can get all the holes in if I do that. So I have to go switch on my bags because I need a couple different bags in here. There's at least one of the holes I need an extra mile big dog. My opponent was down on that same thing rolling back. I might have won it. I might have, coulda. I shouldn't have. I didn't deserve to win, and I didn't. There we go. Good job. Good game. Let's see if they'll rematch. Come on, dude. Come on. Otherwise, I'm going to go pick new bags. All right, I will go pick new clubs. If we're playing Tour 6, this fourth bag needs to be an extra mile. And it needs to be a big dog. And I got a Saturn and a Claw in there. And the Hornets actually will work on all of these holes. And my number one bag, I need to switch this to Guardian. I want to switch this to Saturn. Actually, I could play with a Grim Reaper. But the top spin, the Saturn is a great utility club, and that's what I'm looking for right here is great utility. Some of these holes I may want to do a rough bumper, I may want to do whatever, and I want great utility. I definitely need to switch this bag up to a rock. That bag's screwing me all up. I'm going to switch that bag to Saturn as well. So I've got my big topper bag. It's got a Hornet or a Grizzly. Saturn, Saturn, Saturn. All right, there we go. I like that bag a little better. We'll try that out, especially the number 2 bag. All right, let's see if we can get one of the Southern Pines holes. Here we go. Southern Pines, come on, come on. City Park, hole 6, par 5. And I want to play this hole. Oh my God. Is it going to let me switch balls? It would have let me switch balls right there. I want to bring my number 4 bag. I want to try something new here. I want to see with this big dog as developed as it is, if I can land up here on the tip. Not try and get too damn greedy, but just try and land up there on the tip. 8-6. 2, 4, 6, 8, 6. Probably not with a great. If I could land up there on that tip, if like the shot coming in, there's that next fairway section. I'm going to bleed off into the rough. That next fairway section, and I may just chip up to where I'm trying to get to so I can see, like, is it even possible? But there's an upper fairway coming into the green that starts right here. And then there's the lower part. And most people, we always think of the lower part. But I'm wondering if I got to the tip out here on the end, if I couldn't come at the green from the upper part. And then I'm pin high. I mean, like where I'm starting out's on the same level as the pin, and I'm just trying to run it up there, and I don't have to deal with that. They'll have a shot from there depending on what clubs they brought. There's a shot from down there. And you can do it with a marlin ball if the winds are blowing the right way. I'm just curious to know, like, if I got right up to the very tip of this. Let's try and get right up to the tip. Even though it'd be really hard to get up this far, I'm going to try and get all the way to the tip. The wind's pushing me back out into the fairway. So hitting it perfect. And I'm just going to lay it up right there because I want to see, like, if I got way out there to the tip right there, if I brought the right ball and like a rock or something, like with really good ball guide, where I could really see where I was going out there and run it up. If I can engage this fairway right here, Because if I can gauge this fairway with my big dog has so much topspin that I can run the ball right up towards the green instead of having to bounce over these rocks and use this backboard. Because in most cases, I just limp up there and I'm right off the green and then I chip it in because it's super hard from this angle to get it up to the cup. You really want to end up, that's not a bad effort right there. So, I mean, they'll have a really good shot to get in. But I'm just wondering if I could get up there. See, I can engage this upper fairway instead of the lower. And so then I think I have a much better look at it. The shot really wasn't available before because we didn't have all the stuff on our clubs. It's 1.9 per ring, so that's about a ring. It's right at 2. Put some curl on it to bring it back to the cup. Hit it 1 ring great on the outside. I think you could get it up there. I mean, obviously I screwed that shot up, but I think that's the shot that I'm going to try the next time this hole's in a tournament. We normally try and get down there in the bottom, and it's very difficult to get down in the bottom and get into the right spot consistently. It's a tough drive shot. And so I'm just wondering if we could lay up down there on the end. Once we get that big dog shot 1 or 2 times, figure out the topspin on it, on what will get you up to the green. But you're actually you have a much better shot. You can see the angle from right here. You have a much better shot of coming up that hill to the green. The wind's going with me. Oh, and then I hit that like 700 rings great to the left. It'll miss on the left-hand side. I may have been able to hit a 1 ring great to the left, but not a 2. Oh, got beat out on the course. What's worse is not only did I get beat out on the course, but I didn't get a freaking putt. So I didn't get one that counted towards my pin chest. That's an epic fail right there. Epic. That's because I missed the minimum score on that. Epic fail. That's how you lose in one-on-one outright out on the course, is by not shooting the minimum score. So you can always tell, you should be able to tell pretty graphically like how many times during the night that you epic failed. So that's the first time so far today, and let's not do that again. I like going to my desktop when they say they don't want a rematch and open up a chest that I just won. Not go to my desktop and not see another chest. I think in these 9-hole cups, you got to play almost like you play in one-on-one. You need to have some notes and you need to have stuff like you do for the tournament, because we know that the winds are going to be blowing consistent in one direction, but I have got to switch. I'm going to have to step out of the game and then come back into it, because I'm going to be able to access my ball collection. There's some of these holes a little bit different ball. There's 9-2, due to a little bit of an overpull. Hitting it perfect. Just trying to thread the needle. They thin those trees out so you can hit through those trees that are in front of that sand. And there used to be another sand trap. It used to be a sand trap and then the trees and then a sand trap. And I think they took one of the sand traps out. If you're in that spot right there, you're in perfect shot for short iron. This is a great hole to practice your short iron skills. The green here used to be at least twice as big as it is right now. And from where I'm at, that sand trap was a little different shaped. And I would be very close to the bottom of the old green. This was one of those ones that you could, and I did on several occasions, actually reach the green at the very bottom, and you were screwed because you couldn't. It was a max overpower putt wouldn't get you all the way to the top of the hill. So you'd make the putt, and then it would roll back down to the same spot that you had just started. And so you actually had to putt it off of the putting surface and then do a chip. A little bit of backspin. Let's find out where I'm at in my club. Yeah, I'm right at minimum club, so it's right at 2 per ring. I'm going to go right at it. It's 2.8 is the pull, or the push. There's 2, 8. I just need to hit it perfect. Oh, I couldn't hit perfect tonight if I asked for a perfect. Oh, that would have been right there as far as distance. A perfect, because of the roundness of the cup, I might have rolled in the front of the cup, but it would have been really close. I might have been right on the lip. My distance was just a little short there. Oh, my opponent's in the perfect spot. So this is one of those ones where you lose out on the course. This is that type of hole. So anytime you can get into your short iron range like this is one of those holes that you can lose out on the course, and you really need to hit perfect. And this would be 2 in a row that I didn't get a spot on my pin chest. 2 in a row. Look at that. Nice shot. Well played. Crowd goes wild. Excellent job. See if they'll play again. Come on, helmet. You cost me. I definitely want to play you again. You're a good player. Come on. All right. Nobody wants to play. I'll tell you, if you think about it in the course of any given day when you're out here just playing and you're just cycling through, how many people you run into that have a banner. So that's why the people in the clan, and if you have people in your clan that just got banners, you got to make a big deal about it, because I will tell you that the amount of effort that it takes to get a banner, it's hard to explain, but anybody who's got a banner out there, they definitely earned it. Okay, and I go for this same shot every time. God darn it, I can't switch balls here. But we do have the wind blowing in our favor. So the wind's blowing down this track. It's going to push me 2, 4, 6, 5. It's going to push me right out into that area. And that's just about what I need. So I'm going to put just a little teeny bit of overpower and a little teeny bit of right hand curl and try and hit it perfect. I'm going to hit it great to the right. That means the second bounce will be the one. The first bounce should be, no, the first bounce sucked. Usually it's the second bounce that's the bad one. The first bounce, it's hard. It really is hard to miss that first fairway. So I was like, the wind, I was way off with that overpower. The overpower pushed me forward. I should have went just a little bit farther to the left and then put the overpower on it, but we'll be fine from there. I go for that shot every time. The shot going the other direction is super hard. You have to make it's a weird wind adjustment. I've done it and I know how to do it, but I always prefer to, like, if there's a shot to get on in one, you got to go for it. I mean, come on. My opponent's in a good spot right there. So with that wind, I don't think they need to use all the overpower, but and the wind. Hit it perfect. Let's see if they set it up right. Come on, dude. Get on the hole. That's perfect. That's perfect. Excellent. Well played. Crowd goes wild. Nice shot, my friend. Nice shot. Okay, there's max club. Let's look at it. Max, mid, and that 3/4. So I'm in like the 3 per ring range. So there's 3, 6, 7, 8, So 2 3/4 rings. Just trying to hit it perfect. And I hit it great to the left. Arr! It would have been close. The rings are so wide. They're at 2 miles per hour per ring. The rings are so wide that if you hit it great to the left or the right, you're off by a 2 mile per hour ring. So on those sand shots, if you hit a great to the left or the right and you're off that far, it's almost like hitting with a horizon. You hit a horizon. If you hit it perfect, it's beautiful. But if you hit it great to the left or the right, it's off. Nice. Is that 3 in a row? Look at that. 3 in a row. Good game. It's 3 in a row. I did not get something on my pin chest. Hell, I'm going to have to shoot another video. I'm almost out of time. Let's see if they'll replay. Might get some bonus action. All right. Come on, dude. I ain't waiting for you all day. All right. Look at that. I think I shot 3 in a row right there where I was like, what's my losing streak? It doesn't show a losing streak. Definitely not on a winning streak. Definitely not. I think that was 3 in a row. Man, I'm going to have to step up my game. All right. That was Tour 6. Just one-on-one play trying to pick up some of the Southern Pine holes. Thanks for watching.